Hello my viewers, welcome back. This is your teacher Pascal or Mr. Distinctions. Thank you very much for those who have just subscribed to my YouTube channel. Let's keep the channel growing. If you haven't done that, kindly subscribe. This is because on this channel you'll be enjoying all the compulsory subjects, which include biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and English. And thank you also very much for those who were bringing concerns about our learning technique. Your concerns have brought a development in terms of our learning. As you can see, I found a board so that our learning may become easier. Therefore, I urge you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe so that we can be having together these online classes. Okay, so in this video, as you can see, we'll be dealing with factorization, which is found in mathematics paper 1. Factorization is found in almost every paper of mathematics paper 1. Therefore, you need to know how to handle questions concerned with factorization. So I'll bring some questions from past papers so that I can explain some of the concepts you need to know for you to understand this topic. Okay, so let's begin with the question which came in 2007. The question which came in 2007. Okay, so here is a question. The question which came in 2007. So the question was factorized completely 3x. Okay, so this is a question. They told us to factorize completely this question. Alright, so before we can even start answering this question, I want to explain some of the concepts which are very important, which you need to know and understand for you to be handling questions concerned with this topic very well. So what you need to know in the first place, you need to consider, you need to observe, or you need to see. You need to consider both sides. The first thing you need to consider, if this side has got a number and a letter, also this side, if there is a number and a letter. And in our case, we have got both sides with numbers and letters. As you can see, we have a number which is here, a letter which is right over here, then a number which is here, a letter which is here. So, having been given this, we'll understand that what we're going to fact out, what will be outside the brackets, is the number and the letter. Because on this side we have got a number and a letter, and the letter in this case is just the same as the letter which is on this side. Here we can see we have x, also here we have x. Okay, so the first step, we need to factorize or to fact out these numbers and letters. What do I mean? We are going to find the number which can go into 3 and 12, and in this case 3 can go into 3, also 3 again at the same time can go into what? Into 12. So we are going to have 3. Then since here we have got x, also here we have got x, we are going to fact out x. And in this case, I've just written x because x is the minimum. Of course, here on this side, you have got 3 because this means that you have got 3 x's. But let's consider this side. This side, as you can see, we have only 1 x. And since here we have 3 x's, then here we have got only 1 x. We are going to consider this. We consider the minimum letter. We are going to consider both sides and count the number of letters which have been given. In this case, on this side we have been given only 1 letter, then here we have been given 3 letters. So we are going to use the minimum, which is the one on this side. Okay, so having done that, we are going to open the brackets, and here we are going to say 3x divided by this 3x, which is right over here, divided by this 3x. This one will cancel with this one. Also, this one will cancel this with this one, and what we are going to have is just 1. Then also, okay, let me just clear this part. Here we have 12, then we have 3x's, which is written as this. Then divide by this same 3x. So 12 into 3, the answer is 4. Then if you cancel this one with this one, you are remaining with x squared. So as you can see, we have a negative sign. We are going to write it over here. Then we write our 4x squared. Okay, I'm sure you're getting the point, and I hope you have somewhere where you are writing for easy revision. Okay, so what is the next step? The next step, after writing or factoring out 3x and writing this, we are going to find the square root of 1 and 4. We are going to find the square roots of 1 and 4. In other words, we are going to write these numbers which have not been written in index form. We are going to write them in index form by finding their square roots. Okay, so we are going to find the square root of 1. Also, we are going to find the square root of 4. So our question will look like this. The square root of 1 is just 1 itself, because 1 to the power 2 means 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. So that is the square root of 1, it is 1 itself. Then the square root of 2, the square root of 4 is 2, because 2 to the power 2 equals to 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, then x squared. Okay, let me just clear this part. So having done that, the next step is to factorize now using the difference of what? 2 squares. What does it mean? Let's say, for example, you have been given a to the power 2 minus b to the power 2. The difference of 2 squares states that you open up the bracket, then you are going to write a minus b. So here we have got 2a. We have got 2 a's, because a to the power 2 simply means a. We have got 2 a's. So we are going to write over here, then minus a b, which we have taken from this. Okay, so this means that you have remained with another a, since here we have got 2 a's. So we are going to write another a. Okay, we're going to have another a. But again, what you need to know and understand is that on the sign we are going to change. We are going to put a positive sign. I'm going to explain. Then we write a b. So why do I write this positive sign? So what it is that when I multiply these with this, you have to get back to the question. Let me give you an example. Imagine I have this question. Then I want to multiply these. So I'm going to say a multiplied by this a, the answer is a squared. Then negative multiplied by this positive, the answer is negative. Then b multiplied by this b, the answer is b squared. And as you can see, this answer which we have is just the same as the question which we had at first before we can have this. So the reason why we normally we change a sign right over here is that when you multiply this sign with this one, we have to get a negative sign. So if you change, you put a negative sign right over here, then you multiply this one multiplied by this one, you're going to have a positive sign, of which you are wrong. So whenever you are factorizing using the difference of two squares, you need to know that you have to write different signs in different brackets. Okay. So having explained that, we are going to proceed. We are going to factorize this using the difference of two squares. So we are going to write our 3x right over here. Then here we're going to just have a 1 minus 2x. Okay. The other bracket we're going to contain 1 plus 2x. Okay. So if you can multiply 1 times 1, the answer is 1 squared. Then negative, this negative times this positive, the answer is negative. Then this 2 multiplied by, if you multiply it with this 2, the answer is 2 squared. Then this x multiplied with this x, the answer is x squared. So it is just giving us the same answer. Okay, so this is how we answer this question. Okay, let me give another example. Which came in 2018 GCE. Okay, here's a question. Factorize completely 5x squared minus 5. Right, so as I was explaining, you have to consider both sides. You check if both sides have got numbers and the letters. And in this case, on this side you have got a number and a letter, but on this side we have got only a number. We do not have any letter. And this simply means that what we are going to fact out is just a number, because we do not have any letter. Okay, what do I mean? We are going to just find a number which can go into this 5 and this 5. We are not going to find any letter which can go into x, because here we do not have any letter. I hope now you get the point. Okay, so let's find the number which can go into 5, and probably this 5 itself can go into 5 also, can go into this 5. So the number which we are going to fact out is 5. So I'm going to write it like this: 5x squared divided by 5. This one cancels with this one. We are going to have x squared minus 5 divided by 5. This 5 divided by this 5. The answer is 1. Okay. So what is the next step? As I was just from explaining, we are going to write these numbers in index form. In this case, this number has been already written in index form. So the number which we are going to write is just this one. Okay. So we are going to find the square root of what? Of this number. And here is how it will look. The square root of 1 is just 1. As I was explaining, 1 to the power 2 equals to 1 times 1. And the answer is 1. Okay. Let me just clear this part. So after that, what is the next step? We are going to factorize now using the difference of what? 2 squares. So here we are going to have 5 open bracket x minus 1 x plus 1. Okay, so if you multiply this x times this x, it is giving us this. Negative times positive, it is giving us this. 1 times 1, it is giving us this. Hence, we have done with our work. I'm sure and I hope we are getting the concept. Okay, let's look at another example whereby we have been just given letters. This question came in 2017 school certificate. So here's the question: factorize completely for a. Okay, so as I was saying, we are going to consider the numbers and the letters which are common on both sides. So as you can see here, we've got this a, also here we've got this a. So a will be among the numbers which are going to fact out. Here we've got x, here on this side we've got no x. Then here we've got y, and here we've got also y. So the minimum is this one. This is the maximum y we have in this question. The minimum is this one. So we are going to use this one. Having done that, we are going to open up the bracket. So this a has been factored out, as you can see, and this y is the one which I've written right over here. So what we have just remained with is just x squared minus this a has gone the same, which is outside the bracket. So what we're going to just have is just a 4. Again, here we have this one which is outside the brackets, hence we have remained with y squared. Okay, what is the next step? So the next step, we are going to write all the numbers and the letters which are in the brackets in index form. So as you can see, this number or this letter has been written in index form. It has got a power. Also this one, it has got a power. So the only number which we are going to write is this one, which is a 4. So we are going to find the square root of 4. So here is how it will look. X squared minus the square root of 4 is 2 squared. Then y squared. Okay. So having done that, we are going now to the last step. We are going to factorize now this using the difference of what? 2 squares. So we are going to say a1 open bracket x minus 2y. As you can see, here we have 2 to the power 2, y to the power 2. So we just have to write a 2 and a 1. Also here we have got x to the power 2. We just have to write x on x. Then the remaining ones, and we are going to write them in the next bracket. So we have remained with 1x. Here don't forget you have to put a positive sign so that when you multiply this one with this one, it is giving us this negative. When you put a negative sign right over here, if you multiply this negative sign and this negative sign, it is going to give us a positive sign, which is wrong, because here we've got a negative sign, which is not a positive sign. Okay, so remember here we've just written 2y, which means we've remained with another 2y. Hence we have done with our work. Okay, let me give the last example. I'm sure by now you have gotten the concepts, but let me just give you another example. The last example, whereby you have been given a question to factorize a certain question completely, but you have been given numbers which are in the fraction form. Let's say, for example, this question which came in 2017. GCE. So here's a question, factorize completely minus. Okay, so here what we have to do is just to write we're going to start with the second the second step. We're just going to write the numbers which have not been written in index form. So we are going to write them in index form. So let's say, for example, this x has been written in index form because it has got a power. Also this y, but as for this 4, this 1, and this 9 have not been written in index form. So we are going to write them in index form. Okay, let me just clear the part so that we can have enough space. Okay, here's a question. Over 4y squared minus 1 over 9. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to write the number which have not been written in index form. We're going to write them to be in index form. So our work will be like this. So the square root of 4 is 2 squared. Then we write this y squared minus the square root of 1 is 1 itself. Then square root of 9 is 3 to the power 2. So having done that, we are going now to factorize using the difference of what? 2 squares. So what our work will look is like this. So here, as you can see, we have got x squared over 2. Okay, this is how this is. Okay, so we are going to factorize now using the difference of what? 2 squares. So what we will say, we'll do this x 2 minus 1 over 3, then x x over 2, 2y plus 1 over 3, then you close the brackets. So here is our solution. I hope you have gotten the points. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on following me. In the next video, I'm going to share with you some important tips and some important questions and some important points which you need to know when answering indices. So we are going to deal with the indices in the next video. Okay, for those who haven't yet subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe now. Also, if you have any concerns or questions, you can just write them in the comment box. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.